Hi guys, how you doing? Um, bright light, and pants are falling down. So, how you guys doing today? Well, I hope. So, a couple of days we have anniversary of January 6th. Do you remember where you were? I do. It's watching Horrified on TV. And just a few days after that, I was sexually molested by this fucking loser that worked at the Walmart. And he pinned me in the freezer section, groped me, which is bad enough. But then he followed me to my car, and I froze. Don't know why. Still to this day, don't know why. Opened my front door, my tire jack was right there. Usually use it for protection. But instead, I just looked at him and I said, dude, you know I can fit 4 bodies in that trunk. More if I cut him up. And he finally left. Yeah, I called the cops. It was all on video. He followed me all around the store until he saw his chance to fucking grab at me, and then it showed him following me outside. Cops got the video, and then nothing. Nothing happened. Never got a call back. Never got a... Nothing. I don't even know. I mean, dude, if he did it to me, he did it to other women. And he's probably happily working at another Walmart or something like that. And in the meantime, I can't go into Walmart without my son, because I get panic attacks. You know, so all of our, the pain of January 6th for me was compounded more than it should have ever been. I hope to the goddess, pray to the goddess, nothing like that happened to you, or will ever happen to you. It's happened too much to me when I was a child that my mother wanted to get rid of. Both me and my little sister, or my older sister, Rhonda, we were not allowed. We had to leave in the morning, whether or not there was school, and we weren't allowed to come back until the douche nozzle she married left work at 7. My real dad died before I was born. And she found out he'd cheated on her. And so she she hopped on the first asshole, and she moved to the city. He had 6 adult kids. I'll tell you about all of them later. But we're just little. And he would kick us out, and we weren't allowed back until after 7 o'clock. And it's not like it was today. And so yeah, I've I've been molested. I've been raped. The only person I thought I was gonna ever get some justice from was this idiot at the Walmart for what happened on that January 13th. Because I'm an adult now, and it didn't. Nothing happened. Now, imagine that your abuser is in the presidency, or a senator, or congressman, somebody important. And you have people on your side. You have people saying they're gonna help. But at every turn, you're blocked. It's not that people don't know what happened. It's that Trump doesn't want his friends to get in trouble. That motherfucker ain't got friends. He doesn't want to get in trouble. Those women that were trafficked by Epstein, that are now to the Republic. Excuse me. Oof, that's a good. Those victims who are nothing but a hindrance to the Republicans. Yeah, Trump, who was it? MTG asked him to invite the women to meet him to the Oval, and he said that they weren't deserving of the honor. I think it's the other way around. He's not deserving of the honor of meeting these women. No fucking way. You see, what's happening here has been happening since time immemorial. Women have always been considered secondary citizens. The right to vote is still within some women's living memory. The right to fucking work outside of your home and be something besides a teacher or a nurse. And in the old days, if you were a working woman, you could not have a family. Because if you have a family, you belong, popping out babies and in the kitchen making dinner. That was the whole and short of it. And there was two kinds of women, mothers and whores. And it sickens me to my core, because I know that a whole bunch of those motherfuckers still believe it. Saw a dude wearing a t-shirt that says, "Never trust anything that bleeds for 7 days and lives." Okay? You'll never get laid in your entire life. Excuse me. It's really nice. I've been, because it's coming up, and I've been, thinking about it, and, trying to balance myself, because it's always, it's a hard time. Ladies, you know what I mean. When those anniversaries of those fucking terrors come up, it's really, really hard to balance yourself, to not let it overwhelm you, to, you know, because that gives them a victory. And, you know, it's been a few years, but that little bastard still sometimes lives rent-free in my head. A friend of mine tried to get his name because he was gonna just go beat the shit out of him. But if anybody's gonna beat the shit out of him, it's me, because I could. He wasn't a big man. He wasn't. I was a bartender for 20 years, you know, and even just being a girl, you put that mask. You got that mask, you know, when you deal with the world, when you know you're gonna have to be dealing with shit like that. Man, this was a fucking Sunday, and I was grocery shopping. You know, the mask wasn't there. My armor wasn't up. And it pisses me off a lot to think that I have to go through my daily life. If I'm not at home, I have to have my armor on. It fucking pisses me off. Doesn't it piss you off? It pisses me off. You know, most places, you know, and I still, you know, I love driving. I was playing with Gorilla Glue. Usually not a good idea for me. I accidentally once spilled an entire thing of super glue. It was the one with the little paintbrush, and I tipped it, and it was full, all down my thigh. I didn't need to shave for a long time after that, though. But you know, I guess this one's for us ladies. Because, ladies, you know you have to be 10 times smarter, stronger than your counterparts. You have to have, you have to have that mask. You have to be able to be a bitch. You have to be able, I mean, you know, you can't just be unless it's in your house. And some of us don't even get that fucking... I'm lucky. I got a good man. I got a really good man. And he is not in any way, shape, or form a misogynistic person. And he understands me, which isn't easy to do. And he loves me, and I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky that, you know, we've been together almost 20 years now, and he still loves me more than he did when we first met. Tells me I'm beautiful every day. I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. And I'm lucky to have a man that can understand what all this shit did to me, because it's not so much what happened in 2021. It brought up the memory of everything else that happened. And those are the demons that are the hardest to fight, aren't they? You know, those are the hardest to fight. Because my little dragon. Because there isn't anything you can do about it in the present. In the present, it's done. It's over, finito. You know, there's nothing you can do about it now. And the fact that, you know, the cops go and make the statement here, all the whole schmear, and then fucking nothing happens. You know, I know Houston is a big. Well, my car got broken into downtown. You know, my fucking Maserati, and all they got was my girlfriend's crap bag and our weed bag, which her favorite, she called it a chillum. Her favorite chillum was in there. That was the biggest loss. But they did $15,000 worth of damage on my fucking car. We waited for 2.5 hours. Cop never showed up, so we left. Hi guys. The boys, they're very nice boys. And you know, I guess I just wanted ladies, and we know that struggle, don't we? We know that struggle. And that is why we've got to fucking fight like hell for these women. We have to fight like hell for these women. Because wouldn't you have loved it if somebody fought for you? You know? Wouldn't it be awesome if it felt that, you know, your pain was, well, I'm not going to say validated, but real. And the scars are real. And they fucking, dudes don't understand. They can't. You know, and whenever I run in those fucking assholes that, you know, are happy abortion is illegal, I said, motherfucker, point to a part of your body that's illegal. Come on, tell me, what part of your body does the government have power over? Yeah, right. Fuck you. That's one of the things we need to get rid of. Because it ain't no fucking man's right. No man's right to tell us to do with our cunts. Let's take back that word, ladies. They've been using it on us for years. They use it to hurt you, just like everything else. But, bitch, cunt, doesn't bother me. Plus, I lived in England and they use it all the time. It doesn't have the same connotation here that it does there. You know, there it's far more casual. Here it's, you know, the worst of the worst. And I admit, for the vast majority of my life, you could never get me to utter that word and somebody get smacked they used it. But, it was on HBO. It's called The Vagina Monologues. No, it's not porn, dudes. It's kind of stand-up, but it's also a lady talking about kind of some of the stuff I'm talking about. But I think she was an actual professional of some sort, you know, gynecological. But great information, funny as hell. You should look it up. But she also suggested that we take words like that back. Because if they think that's gonna give them power over us, and they know it does, why let them have it? Why let them have it? Why don't we take it back? Because that is power that you are giving him. Let's not give it to him. Don't give it to him. I love, one of my favorites to come back with is Deadpool. Fuck you. What is it? Fuck you, you cock-gobbling thunder cunt. You know, and yeah, some people aren't as vulgar as I. I was a bartender for 20 years. I was in the military. I was a ruffian. Can't help it. I can hold a conversation and without swearing, yes. But this is my channel, damn it, and I'll swear if I want to. You know, and pouring my heart out on this particular subject because of what is going on right now and how fucking important this is. That these men be held accountable. That fucking Ghislaine Maxwell gets her ass out of Club Fed and goes to a real goddamn prison. Did you get justice ever? Did you? I didn't. Once. I was a little girl. I was about 7. To put my sister about 10. And this dude, he fucking groomed us for a while. And then one day, it was winter, and got us to go in the back door, and he turns and he locks it and he looks at us and he says, little girls should never go into a stranger's house. Holy fucking shit. Me and my sister Rhonda bolted for the front door, got out, ran all the way down to our friend Mike's house. My brother DJ had set up some friends for us because he knew what happened at home in places, in safe places. And the reason why this place was so safe was that Mike's dad and uncle were both Hells Angels and lovely men. So we boogied on down there, and we were still just bawling. And sorry, I'm trying to get this stupid, I don't know why this doesn't want to burn. And we told them what had happened, and they called our brother DJ, and he showed up with another 7 7 dudes. 2 of them were my brothers. I had 5 stepbrothers, and of the 5, 3 of them were cool, and they're all gone now. My favorite being DJ, who got sober, got cancer, and died in 2009. Anyhow, we boogied on down there, and they got this posse together, and see, right next door to the dude's house was a bar, Marie's bar. Marie was a relative of that fucking useless boil on the buttocks of humanity my mother married, but she hated his guts. But she and her best friend, partner, early lesbians, they had to hide it, but she owned the bar down the street, and this dude's house was right next to the bar. That's the only reason, and he knew it. But anyways, it's the only reason we ever gave him any sort of trust, because he lived right next door to Marie's bar. But my brother and we stayed there. With my brother Mike was by far the most gentle of all of my brothers, and he stayed there with us kids, and the rest of them went up there and beat the living fuck out of him. They shattered his leg, and I think they broke one of his arms too, and then they gave him a week to leave town, or they would bury him and nobody would ever find him again. And sure shit, he was gone within a week, whether or not it was, but, I had a stalker in Japan, and one of the places I worked off base, but the local head of Yakuza's son liked to hang out there, and he was in college, and these guys, I know Yakuza, they can be bad, but these people that I knew and dealt with were awesome. I had a stalker, scared the shit out of me. I come running in. I was heading to work, and I saw him, and I went screaming, I went running into work, and I'm crying, and I ran right into the back room, and and there's mostly dudes there, and they all, and I was like 35, so I was hot too. So, but anyways, And I told him about the stalker, and a group of fellows went out and had a talk with him. And which another ironic thing was, I met him because a friend of mine, he owned a kebab shop right on the corner, and he was Greek, no, Turkish, but he was awesome. He was my friend. He was never, and he felt so bad, and he had talked to the idiot, and he joined the mob that night to tell him to stay the fuck away from me, which, you know, grateful, but you know, only had a couple of times. You know, and thank God it was before anything really, really horrible happened. But yes, I've had 2 really, really nice instances of schadenfreude. Actually 3, but we'll talk about that one later. But, you know, we get very few. Very, very, very few. And even few of it. But, you know, and that's street justice. And don't get me wrong, it can be nice, you know, but at this level, it needs to be real justice. At this level, it needs to be, a lot of people need to be called out. And I'll give you a couple reasons. And, you know, number 1 reason, of course, is my own personal rage at these fucking kitty diddlers, and they're called fucking blaming all of us, accusing everybody, and oh, you're timid, oh, you approve of pedophiles. You don't know me. I mean, and how could you say that to somebody with a straight face and not to, I mean, oh my God, had somebody say that to me, and I just looked at him and I said, thanks, I was raped as a child. Yeah, I'm pro-pedophile. Shut the fuck up. He was at my doctor's office. We were at my doctor's office. And I've been with this particular doctor for about 14 years. And he dropped dude as a patient, which was really cool. Because, you know, well, I'm lucky. I've known him for so long. He considers me part of family, so he's really cool. But dropped dude as a patient because he's like, you're not going to talk to anybody like that in my office. No way. Did I like one of these and forget? Nope. But you know, but things like that. And now, I mean, I'm in my 50s, so having, I mean, just, you know, they'd have to be a little schadenfreude every day to make up. And it could never make up for the indignities that I have suffered. And I bet you have too. And yeah, we've had our wins here and there. Not enough, man, because they still fucking do it. It'll never be enough. Because it really hasn't changed. You know, there are men here and there. You know, my hubby, I raised my boy to be respectful. And, you know, I've got some teenagers over here, and he's just lovely. He's a nice boy. He's a really sweet boy. He sticks up for my Rosie, which is awesome. Knocked a kid when they first moved in, because this other little shit he was a little asshole. But he said something mean about Rosie, and they were only about 12 at the time, and Trent knocked him down and hit him and told him, don't you ever talk bad about Rosie. Good boy. He always protects my Rose, so that's cool. But, you know, we've got a generation here of young people, and what they learn in this next year is a catalyst of what their vision of women, what the public perception of what it is going to redefine how America treats women who have been violated, who've been raped, who've been, because right now America sucks. It treats the survivors like the perpetrators. They don't believe us. What were you wearing? Why were you there? Who fucking cares? I can be running my ass naked down the street, which you don't want to see, but in this hypothetical, very hypothetical, I could be running naked down the street and I still don't deserve to be raped. Fuck off. It doesn't matter what you're wearing or not wearing. It doesn't matter where you were. It doesn't matter how much you've had to drink. It does not matter. Nobody has the right to put their fucking hands on you without your permission. And if you are clearly incapacitated, they need to find your friends or, but if you are super drunk, don't leave the safety of the crowd until you find somebody that you trust. No, personally, call somebody. Don't leave the crowd. Personally, I don't drink, but again, bartender for a long time. But I was also a designated driver, and I did the girls' cab a lot, so that the girls could go out and have a good time and have somebody sober watching and making sure that they don't do anything stupid and nobody tries anything stupid. And worked real well. I suggest you carry it forward. I still do designated driver duty, because I got run over by a drunk when I was a kid. There's a whole bunch of drunks around me. Those I don't like those ones. But, I was a bartender for freaking 20 years. Bars are fun, and I have fun without getting drunk. And watching everybody else make asses out of themselves. Everybody has a phone now. Those are great. But if anybody barfs in my fucking car, they have to clean it up. Especially now, because, I drive a Maserati. You barf in my car, there's hell to pay. And couple of complete shampooings. But, it's not, none of those reasons. There never has been any good, valid reason for a woman to be raped. It's just the most expedient way to get what they want, or to torture you, or to, it's always been the most expedient way to break a woman in wartime. And women as war prizes still go on today, and has been going on since time began. These women that are standing up against the Epstein, they're standing up for us too. They're standing up for every woman who hasn't been heard, who hasn't gotten her justice, who hasn't ever felt safe truly since, unless, like me, you have a son that's 6'5", and a bunch of other large boys. I have a few adopted boys. My new one, Andrew, I just gave him my 95 Thunderbird. He's going to fix her up, and he's such a nice boy. And I have a couple other, I have, the kids my kids work with, they all end up being my children. One of them lived with me for 5 years, my alley cat. I adopted her. She's going to have a baby any day now. It's my first grandchild. I am so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I will let you know when the baby's born. It's a boy. I can't remember the name. But I think I'm just going to call him Zed because it starts with a Z, but I don't remember what the rest of it is. But I think I might just call him Zed. Right now, he's my little monster. So, but, you know, when he's born, then we'll know his personality. Then you guys can help me decide what his name's going to be. Because I never call my kids by their actual names, except for Bear. Bear is his actual name. And, you know, when he was born in England, and my mom, he came out and he was, well, because of the because of the Native American and French Canadian, we have hairy people. And my poor babies, well, Lily and Bear, or not Lily, excuse me, Bear and Rosie both had the unfortunate of being born hairy. And in England, when a child cries or gets upset, they say grizzly. And when he was born and they washed him off and handed him to my mom, she goes, oh my. Because he was kind of crying, and she goes, oh, he's a grizzly bear. And hence his name was born. From, you know, we named him Bear. So, and he's still very hairy. But he's beautiful. You've seen little clips of him, but he doesn't want to be spotlighted. So, but, you know, but the post I put with the music, that's Bear. He just doesn't want me to. We'll have to find someplace else that's beautiful that I can point to while he plays. And he also does photography and stuff. But he's that generation. He's 25. And, you know, but I've raised him his entire life. And he was mostly raised by women. I mean, and because, yeah, but, you know, every military, you know, dude's gone all the time, but, being raised by me, but he learned that, you know, he learned how to treat women, how to talk, you know, he's very shy, but, how, you know, he learned, and plus he lived on a military base most of his life. I mean, that also, you know, and his freaking dad's a cop. Not that Donnie, when Major Davis got home and the coat came off, he was Donnie. I actually was the disciplinarian with the children. Because, I mean, the girls just wrapped around his fingers. The way they should be. But I taught my girls, I taught them how to be smart asses and bitches, because you have to, and to be strong. I taught my son how to treat women, and to be protective and proactive. And, you know, but again, this generation, we've got these teenagers, and if you've got teenagers or younger, man, you need to start to tell your boys now. You need to teach them now. Now's the moment, because it's the national conversation. Now is the fucking moment on whether or not we get more misogyny, or we finally fucking are able to teach our sons that is almost as bad as racism. That is, and you know, and you want your women to what? Be in the kitchen having babies? Do you think that's all we're worth? I mean, And then when you get tired of us, you trade up. No more. No. We have to tell our boys now. We need to tell our boys now how to treat women. We are not the only ones who can fucking do housework. We are not the only ones who can grocery shop. We are not the only ones that can do, teach them. My kid's that boy's an excellent cook. But that boy is a kind boy, and if he sees somebody in trouble, he'll help. And he doesn't like bullies, as he should. And he knows damn well that you don't treat women in certain ways, and you don't talk to women in certain ways. Now, and I know I've got a foul mouth and everything else, and we make obnoxious, he's got a great sense of humor. But he knows how to treat women. Does your son? If you're watching this, start teaching him. It's never too young to start, and it's never too late either. Because unless we want to continue with this cycle, we, women, have to make it stop. Men aren't going to make it stop. They're the ones doing it. Why the fuck do you think they want it stopped? We have to make it stop. Sorry. Thank you for letting me vent and pour this out to you, because obviously it's hard to talk about. I know. It's hard to admit to sometimes, but you know what? I fucking survived a lot of shit. You can too. Okay, my boy's calling me, so I will stop yapping at you. Please, 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 if you like me at all, subscribe, like, please comment, ladies, and no snarky shit, alright? This is a very serious subject. I expect you to treat it like the serious subject it is, okay? I love you guys. Peace out.